They say my sister's a ghetto. You know what's interesting about that is there must be some appeal to my sister's being quote unquote ghetto because I see a ton of women in all these other cultures who display a lot of the same behavior that the quote unquote ghetto sisters do. So it must be appealing in some capacity because all these other women are doing the same exact thing. Now, me speaking to my sisters, I've talked before in my other videos about a time and place for everything. Now, we understand that some people grow up in households where maybe there's a lack of education, a lack of, commonplace, a lack of maybe a certain type of mannerisms. That does happen in households, and probably the households that some of my sisters may act a certain type of way. Is that unfortunate? Yes, it is unfortunate, but not because of what society and how folks view and want to say that my sisters are. It's not unfortunate because of that. It's unfortunate because what tends to happen is in those same particular households, you got other kids that are coming up. And some of those kids pick up the same type of behaviors. That's the unfortunate part about it. Would I like to see a change in that? Absolutely. I would love to see a change in that. Not all of my sisters act ghetto. And again, there has to be some appeal. And I want to say it in this other way as well. Not only with the appeal, there are trends that are set with my sisters who are so-called ghetto. There are fashion trends. There are speaking trends. There are dance trends. And you know what happens? Is off of my so-called sisters being ghetto, people make money. My sisters don't make no money, but other people make money. These corporations, they understand the appeal. They see the attraction. They see that all these other cultures adopt that stuff. Case in point, if you want to say, and I don't even want to say that this is ghetto. I believe that this is just more of our cultural artistry that we have. But some people would look at some of our dances as being ghetto. Sisters being, their dances being ghetto. Case in point, what was it? The D'Amelio sisters or whatever. These girls were doing TikTok stuff, copying our sisters' ghetto dances, right? And what happened with them? These girls created a whole empire out of that. Taking it from our sisters who are ghetto, their dance moves, they became opportunistic and they were able to create a whole empire out of this thing. Have all types of views. It looks good when other people do it. It looks good when other women do it. When other women look the part as being influenced by our sisters, it looks good on them. It doesn't look good on our sisters. That's funny. That's really funny. I find that a bit peculiar. Peculiar. Man, I can't even say the word right. Peculiar. I still can't even say the word right. Peculiar. You get what I'm saying. Bit strange. But not really. Because there's a whole nother apparatus that is out there that's enabling these folks to capitalize on stuff that my sisters do that are ghetto. So I would say to my sisters, again, there's a time and place for everything. And we know that when you're in the house and you're around your family members and stuff, you're going to cut up and you're going to act a whole different type of way. But when you come out in public, my thing is, it doesn't have to be completely eradicated, but just be mindful when kids are around. Be mindful when elders are around. Be mindful with the location that you're at. Not to just, you want to try to prove a point, or that's just the way that you are. Because we know that you can change that up when you need to. It's not always the case that that's just who you are. Sometimes that's just a part you want to play in that particular moment. So just be mindful. For the ones who just can't get it out of the system and that's just who they are, that's just who they are. You're going to have some folks that just, you can look at these reality shows and some of these parents are worse than the kids. But again, it's appealing. It sets trends. So I don't necessarily have the right understanding of why you want to denigrate the sisters and say that they're ghetto, but those same types of characteristics appear with all these other cultures, and these other cultures capitalize on it, and then these corporations capitalize on that, and they start to create fashion behind it. They create movies and shows and all kind of stuff. You see Tubi. If you want to say something that's supposed to be, you know, as far as the behavior being ghetto, you see Tubi. These folks are basically making a whole nother BET. And unfortunately, with our folks, we're the ones supporting it. We're the one putting money in the pockets, but that's a whole nother situation. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent. Yes, sometimes my sisters can be ghetto. Sometimes. There are some people, and again, there's lack of education, there's trauma, there's a whole bunch of different things. I'm not going to make excuses fully with that, but I also want people to understand, when you look at folks and you say that they're ghetto, look at the other folks that are copying whatever the ghetto tendencies are. And if you got the same energy for our sisters to call them ghetto, then you need to be doing the same exact thing to those other cultures. How many of these women that are in these other cultures, professional women, going around singing Sexy Red and singing Lotto and singing Glorilla? But those same professional women and those same high society women will look at our sisters and be like they're ghetto. All right, man. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to catch you on the next note. Peace out.